Hey, Epic Warpath fans. Well, there seem to be lots of questions about how do you build some of this stuff, and I've got the Asterian's core sprue pretty well sorted here, so I thought I'd make a quick slapdash guide for anybody that might find it useful.
Let's start with the Wraith. The Wraith is pretty easy. The only tricky part is you got to get the right gun. Which is the right gun? The gun with the flat bottom. It'll mate up well with the divot in here, which is round and then flat on its bottom. The only thing you might do to jazz it up is, well, I would just recommend it. If you're a heathen, you don't have to drill your barrels, but if you're a civilized wargamer like me and want a little added zip, drill your barrel out. That'd be nice. I think also this has I think it's still visible there. There's a pretty big mold line running down the top of the gun. I'm going to take that out. The other places you're going to want to work are on the front of these shields. There's two that attaches to the sprue here. I'd work to clean that up and that up the most. Everything else is going to be pretty minor, but a good sand on the back and then on these circles where they also attached would be good too. And then, yeah, you'll get your Wraith done. Easy peasy. Let's talk the other two tanks. The Chira, the transport version, and the Chroma weapons platform. Pretty easy to do. The only trick I would say for cleanup wise is there's this nasty attachment point here. Focus on that. It's only on one side. The rest is very clean, actually. Well, okay, a little bit needed on these back struts that hold the engine pontoons. But other than that, all right, so the Chira is the transport version. It's got the twin no rifles there. All you're going to want to do is look at it and go pointy shooty end towards the bad guys at the front. That's it. Pretty easy. Crazy people will magnetize these so that they have the more options to build their Chroma weapons platforms. I decided, and this is maybe the biggest thing to take away from this, is the website shows these built in groups of 3. They actually in-game are built in groups of 2. So 2 Chiras or 2 Chromas as a unit. So you actually have a choice to make, dear Asterian player. Are you going to build, which one are you going to build 4 of, and which one are you going to build 2 of? Or are you going to build 6 of all of just one kind? I opted, because I've got the specialist sprue coming, to build 4 of the transports and just 2 to run escort as the Chroma platform. So I'll have a more infantry heavy kind of thing going on. I think that's probably maybe the way most people will do it as well too. The Chroma with its gun needs this receiver bit to go in it, and the only trick with that is this thing has 3 sensor bits at the front and 1 sensor bit at the back to prevent bad guys from sneaking up on you. So just once you glue that down on in first using plastic glue, then you can put that guy in using plastic glue. And yeah, I would say you can get this thing really, off center, high on one side, low on the other side. Try and do that. And then I have some aimed to the left and to the right and forward. Or you can be a weirdo and spend all your time magnetizing it, however you want to do it. Let's do Skyrazor. All right, the Skyrazor comes in 3 pieces. Took the longest to assemble off of anything, and the reason being is you're going to take this bottom whole piece and this mid piece, and pointy end goes forward and slopey end goes forward. And this just basically mates into a little grooved track in here. And what you're going to build at this back end is an L. And the L is where the pilot is going to glue into. Now, on this side, you'll see, wow, I can barely tell where that pilot glued in there. On this side, you can see, holy cow, I can see exactly where that pilot glued in here. Why? So there was enough plastic glue on this side to really melt things down and then squish together to make that almost invisible. Whereas on this side, there is probably a little bit less. So if you're gonna go one way or the other, go a little bit heavier on the plastic glue than you might otherwise. Do keep it under control, but yeah, it'll smush together. And then the other big tip with these guys is the pilots have a attach point to the sprue at their feet. You really got to clean that up well if you are going to get this to fit perfectly down into here. So I spent time sanding and then a little plastic glue and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, you'll glue all those together. So I just went through gluing these two pieces together first, then dry fitting all of these, making sure I was happy with them, and then gluing all these guys on as well. They will go on a 25 mil base, which has a little flight peg that Mantic provided, but I cannibalized some transparent plastic flight pegs to do them at slightly different heights and things like that. So I thought that would be fun. Next, let's talk super heavy. Do you have an 80s clad super heavy Warden? If you do, cool. Great looking model when finished, kind of a pain in the butt to build. All the keys are very small, they're square. How I would just do this one real quickly is grab the torso and build the gun on first. The gun goes to the lower arms. It comes mostly flat across the chest like that. And once you're done there, do the legs. Yay, that's always fun. I glued the legs in. I didn't glue it down to the base, but I kind of, held it on the table. Okay, this is flat. This is how I want it. Got that there and glued on. Great. Now, once you have that, you can do the arms and the fins at the back and the head. There's a look at the fins of how I did those, what people can see. And yes, there. Brittle and thin here, and of course on the sword blade, but will go together nicely. Be interesting to see. We all think that this guy is a little bit smaller than the Spectra. If you have a Spectra, you could probably just run it as one of these guys as a proxy. I put him on a 60 mil base because I think he looks a little bit better on that for display, and then he'll go onto this 80 for gaming. Yep. All right, there we go. Now we'll talk buildings before we talk infantry. Good tip for the buildings is to figure out, just dry fit and figure out what you want to build. I kind of, my mind really locked up once I had all the pieces broken out, but then I just said, we'll just build some traditional ruined corners. And yeah, this is going to be enough. Here, we'll demonstrate with command. See, command still can, one guy can still show that he's occupying the building in there. More guys underneath there, that's fine. The secret weapon in this fight, though, is a long curing time super glue. So this is from my dollar store, this super glue adhesive. This is the kind that you apply to both surfaces, wait 5 minutes for it to dry, and then press together. Sure, whatever. I just ran a bead down where I wanted it, and then just glue as many pieces as you can together. And this stuff has got a long enough curing time that you can slide it around and really get true good flat corners. I think if you try and do this with plastic glue, you might go crazy. This stuff is the bomb for getting these together. And yeah, that's kind of what some of my buildings look like. I'm gonna ruin them up even more. And maybe if I hack pieces out, I might build some, pieces down out here and whatnot. They can go together in all your wargaming Lego Heart's Desire ways, right? So very cool. All right, now let's talk infantry. So the commands with the Cypher Prime is pretty self-evident, but he's got the cutest little shield generator there. That's so awesome. Yep, 2 to a base just like that. Then let's talk what's the difference between a Cypher and a Marionette. So pretty easy. You can see Cyphers have spiky shoulder pads and Marionettes have weird spoon helmets, okay? And then the difference between the two types of Cyphers, the Cypher Wardens have power gloves like Iron Man. They have 4 distinct poses as far as I can tell. 3 are looking to the right, 1 is looking to the left, and the 3 looking to the right, some have some slightly different leg poses and arm action. Then the regular Cyphers with missile launchers, 1 is shooting, and then it only looks to me like there's 2 other poses for the guys with weapons kind of slung. So I think it's 3 distinct poses here for these. I could be wrong. We'll look at I'll post some pictures up here too. Oh my gosh, they all died. Boom. I'll post some close-up pictures here for people. Marionettes, the regular marionettes, there are definitely 4 distinct poses with 3 kind of shooting guns and 1 holding gun up in air. And now another problem with the website. What the website shows, the Cypher Philogisters, the guys with the bigger heavy weapons. So the website shows these 4 to a base. You actually do 2 heavy weapon guys to the base and then backed up by 2 guys with pistols. That's how you base those guys. Right on. I hope this was helpful tips-wise for anybody working on their Asterians. Coming on the channel, I'm going to continue my coverage of Epic Warpath, my journey there. I've got lots more Return to the Tripods coming, Battletech Aces when it arrives, and games I'm playing with the family. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.